I had to ask my friend to borrow some money, man. Now, as a man, that's like the worst thing, the worst feeling that you ever have to sink through, right? But in this particular situation, I had just got paid on a Friday, and I paid a few bills on Saturday, and I literally had nothing by Monday. And, I didn't want to ask my parents. I knew that they would give it to me, but, I just felt like less of a man, being a grown man, having to go back and ask your parents to borrow money. I didn't want to ask any of my family, honestly, because, I just didn't want any of my family to look down on me. As a man, sometimes we overthink so much, and our pride is so, especially when you're a very prideful man. But I was in a situation where I needed help. And so I remember, man, I fought with it over and over. I kept looking at my phone. I would dial the number and then I would hang up. Or, not hang up, but I would dial all the numbers and I wouldn't press send. And then I fought back with that over and over and over until I said, okay, well, let me text message. And then I thought, like, man, you can't text message somebody about business. You're a grown man. If you have a question, go and ask. And as I kept telling myself I'm a grown man, I also kept telling myself, yeah, you're a grown man, but you're in a bad situation. You got to be careful sometimes because your mind can be your worst enemy sometimes. It can be your worst enemy. So I remember forking up the energy, calling my friend, asking him to borrow some money. And he gave it to me. He gave it to me. I wasn't shocked because it was one of my good friends. I wasn't shocked, but I told myself that I would never, ever, ever be in that situation ever, ever again. Now, I'm sure you've had to borrow money before and you know how it feels. It doesn't feel good at all. And I'm sure that you felt the same feelings that I felt having to ask, especially when you have a job. You see, these 9-to-5 jobs, they're not looking out for our best interest. They're looking out for their best interest. And the best thing that we can do for us is to get more skills, is to learn how to make money either online or, to create our own products or sell somebody else's products or digital marketing or affiliate marketing or whatever it is that you want to go into, because there's other ways to be able to make more money. Most people just don't know how to do it. Now, I happen to now be into digital marketing. If you want to sell digital products or, you want to recommend digital products, because I know a lot of people don't like the word sales, comment the number 1 and I'll send you details on what I found. Because one thing I can tell you is if I did it, you can too.